to trot because Ross is out on assignment today, but with me at the desk, I am the luckiest girl because there is a very special guest. He is a hilarious comedian and correspondent for one of my favorite shows, all of our favorite shows, The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. He has an amazing comedy special, Imperfect Messenger, out next week. I've been watching and loving. Please welcome the fantastic Roy Jr. Yes.
Hello. How you been, old friend? Good to see you.
So excited to do this with you. All right. Well, Forbes called you one of the best journalists in comedy, and
I'll take that.
I have to say that as a self-educated person, I think, you know, if you are a journalist, you are a seeker, you are curious. Journalism is one of my favorite forms of a profession, an integrity, a North Star, but this is in your genes.
Yeah, it's a little different, though. My father, up until his death, was a civil rights journalist and, you know, columnist, and he covered, you know, for radio, he covered, you know, the Vietnam War. He was in South Africa during their riots. He was covering the Rhodesian Civil War. My daddy spent And then the civil rights movement. So my daddy spent like a good 30, 40 years at the beginning of his journalistic career just getting shot at and beat on for truth. I'm just kicking it with Trevor Noah on Comedy Central. So it's like we get to go out and do a lot of the stories and a lot of the things that are in the same vein that my father stood for and that he believed in. And I also have older brothers that were in journalism fighting the same fight. I just get the luxury of being able to sprinkle a joke or two in there. Well,
I think since the dawn of satirical comedy, we've all appreciated the spoonful of sugar to help that medicine go down. And I think the world shifts. It shifts in political years. It shifts through a pandemic. It shifts through what is happening in the culture. And you guys, time and time again, have figured out a way to tackle it. And I thank goodness for The Daily Show.
Thank you so much.
I really do.
Thank you.
Well, Roy, would you like to hit some headlines with me?
Let's do it.
All
Let's do
right.
it. Happy to.
First up. Well, this is really light and fluffy compared to what we're talking about, and yet it is what everybody's talking about, so that's why we're going to talk about it. Everyone's got their eyes on the hot couple, Kim K and Pete Davidson, and the plot thickens. Kanye West is out in New York and Miami with actress Julia Fox, and people are kind of wondering, what is this all about? My personal opinion is like, this is performance art. What's your take, Roy?
I heard somebody say that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson absconded to a tropical. What I love is that you can only abscond if you're rich.
Right.
If you broke, it's just y'all went somewhere and banged. But somehow they've absconded.
Yes.
You just had sex in a different bed. Why are we using these big words? In the bigger scheme of things, if Pete Davidson is happy, I'm happy for him. You know, that's a brother who has, you know, when you talk about being young and being in the public eye and then having to unpack your own traumas in front of people on stage as a comedian and then having to deal with people reacting to how you deal with the world. So if that man has figured out a way every day to wake up and be happy, go do it.
When I watched him on SNL, he did this little commentary, this little monologue, where he also said, it's been a pleasure to grow up with you guys and in front of you guys. And I think he just wins us over time and time again with his humanity and his flaws and his triumphs, and he is growing up in front of our eyes. These are young people.
Kanye, this is just a man who wants his wife back. You tried everything. You didn't try to apologize. You didn't try to please baby, come home, and now it's all right, well, what if I be out with another girl? Then she gonna get mad.
Yep.
And then after that, then it's just, you just got, at some point, Kanye just gonna have to repropose. I don't know what the solutions are.
They're just human beings. You know, and if we remember that, then let's enjoy from that perspective.
Yeah.
And root people on. I want people to be happy. All right, Roy.
Your story. So, next up, Spider-Man No Way Home is killing it at the box office. It's made so far almost $700 million, making it the 6th highest grossing film of all time, beating Titanic, and Variety reports that on opening night, there were 2 ex-Spider-Men in the audience. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire snuck into their local theater to watch the movie with fans. They said it was an extra special moment for them because, spoiler alert, all 3 Spider-Men appeared together in the new movie. So they couldn't be at the premiere because it would have spoiled everything. So, Drew, did you see the new Spider-Man?
I saw it, and I just cried the whole movie.
That's what I've heard it makes you do.
This movie, you know, having done the Charlie's Angels movies, there is such a power in the number 3. And it brought me back to 20 years ago when I was trying to tell that story for 3 girls.
Yeah.
And I just wept the whole way through. I loved it. I think it's so good. And I'm glad to see it doing this well. This movie really does it for me.
Everyone says that it's moving. I haven't had a chance to see it yet. My girlfriend wants to go with me, but she's a couple Spider-Man films behind, so we got to play catch up at the house first. Because I don't believe in going with you to see a movie if you ain't seen all the previews. We got to see them all in a row. You know, I'm a very sequel-centric.
Well, and this one, if you don't know, because you really have when they show up, you're like, oh my God!
Which is brilliant. To me, that's brilliant because, like, Marvel, like everyone does reboots and remakes, and Marvel's like, just put them all in the same pot. How do you just do that?
Next up, we've got an interesting job opportunity. I love this story. I brought this to the news desk. Food and Wine reports that Peel Island, a small island off the coast of England, is looking for someone to run its pub, and double as its king. The position has been filled for over 300 years, and there are no other permanent residents on the island, so whoever applies should have a strong passion for isolation, peace, and quiet. Well, I think we've been set up for success here. The inauguration involves wearing a helmet and holding a sword while buckets of beer are dumped on your head. Sounds like the Super Bowl meets Vikings. And then people come and do like day trips on the island, but you run a pub, and you're the king. Roy, thoughts?
Why has it got to be beer? Why can't it be whiskey? I prefer whiskey. If I'm the king, I should decide what you dump on my head.
Would you ever do something like this?
Yeah, I would love the isolation of that. I would 1,000%. Like, I don't know if this is normal or not, but like people go, what's your perfect vacation? And it's just, my vacation isn't a location, it's number of people.
Yeah.
And 1 is the perfect number.
Yeah.
And I'm a father, and I love the boy. I know he might watch this, but I don't care. 1.
What's next, Roy?
Finally, it's finally that time of year where we can ask certain phrases we're all sick of hearing, phrases we want to go away. CNN reports the Lake Superior State University has released its annual list of banished words. They've taken submissions from around the world, and here's some of the words that are on their list. Wait, what? People are sick of that one. Here's another one. You're on mute. Hey, you're on mute. When are we all going to figure out the mute button? You had 2 years of COVID to figure out the mute button. You know you're on mute. The microphone has the Ghostbuster slash through. Here's one that I really don't like, Drew. At the end of the day, and that being said, those phrases are also being banished for being annoying filler that doesn't actually mean anything. Now, Drew, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, what phrases do you want to banish?
Viral load. Because I don't know about you, but I go to some crazy places every time I hear that.
Yeah, if you type in viral load on Google, that's 50-50 that you're going to get what you was looking for.
Yeah.
But, you know, just for a second, Drew, I just want to reconnect. And let's circle back. Let's circle back to the beginning of this.
Bring it full circle.
When it's all said and done, what I think we want to say at the end of the day is that these words all need to abscond away out of our vocabulary.
To the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
I couldn't agree more. Although one word that I am obsessed with and I have adopted is chuggy. It's what the kids say for that is not cool, it's out of style, and it ain't happening. So I guess all those sayings are now chuggy. So that's it.